The Met Gala was a mess. Hey, it's Selassie. I know you guys never see me. Hopefully I'll be posting more on my YouTube now that I am temporarily banned from TikTok. But today I'm going to be talking about the Met Gala and all the controversies around it, or at least try to, because babes, I'm tired. I don't know if y'all had a long week, but I had a long week and the week just started. So let's get into it. Before we do, be sure to follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok so you know where I am, what I'm doing, blah, 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 other things that I say, other than on YouTube. But I am trying to be more active on here, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I post. Now, before we get into the looks of the Met Gala, I really want to just briefly summarize the controversies behind this Met Gala. Not only was the Met Gala hosted during a pandemic, yeah guys, COVID's still a thing, we're still kind of in a pandemic, but the Met Gala was occurring while there were literal Black Lives Matter protests in the streets of New York. And why this is important is, well, at the Met Gala, the theme was America, and a lot of people of color, especially Black celebrities, attended the event and spoke good things about diversity and representation and Black people being the blueprint and all that good stuff. But at the same time, we see people protesting for the lives of Black people being arrested in the streets of New York. And where's the New York mayor? Whining and dining with those same celebrities. So you can see why people are very upset at the Met Gala. Not only the fact that nobody knew the freaking theme, but because there's just a lot of, our world is facing a lot of political tensions, a lot of racial tensions, just a lot of things going on right now. And to have the theme be America and the idea of celebrating America right now kind of seemed inappropriate and insensitive to some people. Another issue was Nicki Minaj did not attend, and Nicki Minaj did not attend, along with a lot of other celebrities, because of the Met Gala's vaccination requirement. Everyone who attended the Met Gala had to be vaccinated. And when fans were wondering why Nicki wasn't attending, she took to Twitter to explain why. Now, I think everyone should get vaccinated if they're able to, because at this point, guys, the vaccine is the only way for us to reach herd immunity. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not gonna sit here and explain that because I'm not even a science major. That's not my job. But the vaccine is what's gonna help us fight COVID. I understand people feel differently about the vaccine, but honestly, I don't know why people are ragging on Nicki, because instead of making noise and protesting at the Met Gala talking about I should be able to attend without being vaccinated, she just stayed home. She just stayed home. And that I applaud for. We need more people who are not vaccinated to limit their public gatherings. Even people who are vaccinated to limit their public gatherings. So why aren't people thinking about that part? Why aren't people thinking about that part? And lastly, AOC's attendance was controversial because she's a politician, because she wore dresses to tax the rich, and because people think she's performative. But like I said, we'll get into all of that at the end of the video as well. Now let's talk about the fashion. So there was a lot of things wrong. A lot of things wrong that happened at the Met. A lot of things wrong. And I'm not here to say that I am freaking Anna Wintour to have any right to really critique people's fashion, but today I'm gonna act like I'm Anna Wintour. Let's start with Lil Nas X. So his piece was a 3-part piece. He had this huge dramatic cape, which was very camp, very Met Gala. And finally, when he took off the cape, he had a complete gold shield, of armor. And then when he stripped the shield, he had this fitted jumpsuit that flared at the bottom, was bedazzled. I don't really know the story behind this. I watched the Vogue interview for a lot of the looks and I really wasn't comprehending what was the theme behind it. But when I saw the last suit, it was giving very much Freddie Mercury, very much David Bowie, very much 70s, 80s glam rock. And so I thought it was pretty Americana. I think we can make that stretch for Lil Nas. I loved it, so that was great. Megan Fox showed up in this red gown that had strap, it was showing on the sides and it was strappy. It was giving very much Betty Page with the way her bangs were curved, and I thought it was very it was fit for the theme, even though she didn't say that it was based off of Betty Page, but I don't know. I saw the resemblance immediately. Next is Lupita. She came to the Met Gala, as she comes to every event, glamorous and beautiful as always. She was wearing this denim gown. I didn't even realize it was made out of denim. You know, a denim is very American. It looks beautiful. Some other people wore denim, and I feel like Lupita probably wore denim the best. This look is definitely like my third favorite look, and her hair was beautiful. And during her interview with Kiki, she said that it was based off of a painting. I forgot what painting, but her hair was a work of art. She looked beautiful. Now Sweetie. So Sweetie's gown, the two like flag things at the end were meant to represent the flags of her two ethnic backgrounds, and America being known as the melting pot. It's very appropriate that she felt like some other celebrities to embrace her heritage, embrace her ethnic background, and that's what makes her American. And I love that. I love the gown, even though it was a BBL gown. We knew it was a BBL gown, but she looked good in it. She looked stunning, so I loved it. Megan Thee Stallion really broke my heart because the dress was cute. It was giving vintage Barbie doll. It was giving 50 showgirl. Like if you've ever watched the movie There's No Business Like Show Business, her gown was giving very much that theme. But where they fell short was the hair and the makeup. The hair and the makeup were nothing big. It's something that Megan would have worn on a day-to-day basis. And I feel like it really took away from the cuteness of the gown. They could have done her a little bob, a little 50s hairdo, pin curls, you know, something like shorter, played around with some colors, maybe give her some like blonde or ginger or blue or even pink, like go with the pink wig, I don't know, like something that was fun, and the makeup to really stand out and match that. It just wasn't giving what it should have gave, and that personally hurts me because Megan is a beautiful woman and she deserves better than that. Now let's briefly talk about AOC. So AOC showed up in a white off-the-shoulder gown, and on the back of it, it said, "Tax the rich." And if y'all don't see the parallels, if you don't see how that's camp, I can't help you. But we'll get into more about that gown, like I said, at the end. Billie Eilish, literally hands down my second favorite look. The pictures did not even do her justice. You had to see video footage of her walking up the steps at the Met and how the color came in and out of the gown when it hit the light. A lot of people are mistaking her for dressing up as Marilyn Monroe, but during her Vogue interview, she literally said that she was inspired by Holiday Barbie, and if you could tell by the dress, it's very obvious how she was inspired by a vintage Holiday Barbie. But yeah, no, it's not a Marilyn look. I don't know why people think, they see blonde and they automatically think Marilyn Monroe. Like, no. I loved her. She looked amazing. I can't even describe. Like, I'm not a Billie Eilish fan like that. Like, I never really praised this woman, but I'm not even gonna lie, she looked really good. So Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. Shawn looked amazing, and that's another person I do not praise like that. You do not see me simping. You do not see me simping over Shawn Mendes, but I can't lie, he looked good. Like, when I saw him come up for the Vogue interview, I said, "Who is that?" And I said, "Shawn Mendes." I said, "Well, I'll be damned." It was giving. Camila, not so much. Just look at the material. Let me break down why this look was not it. First of all, it's giving very much Cher, and Cher is a tall, thin woman with a very like banana-shaped body. Camila is not that. She's very short, so that already just wasn't gonna allow the dress to flow on her nicely. They did not design a dress that was very fitted to her body type to complement her, and it just wasn't giving. Okay, that's the nicest way I can explain it to people who are fans. I'm not bashing the celebrities. If I had something to say about the celebrities, I would, but I'm not doing that here. Now for CL, y'all, like, no, we need to have a serious conversation, because a lot of y'all that follow me are K-pop fans. Y'all, K-pop community, we need to have a serious conversation about how this happened. How CL, the fashion icon, showed up like this. I'll give her the points that it looks better closed. Moving on to the Biebers. The Biebers showed up. They showed up. And that's all they did. They just showed up. She said that her look was inspired by old Hollywood. Grace Kelly. I wasn't seeing any Grace. I was not seeing any old Hollywood. She was giving loose beach waves. I don't know why people just think anything that's a gown is old Hollywood. It really is a shame. It really is a shame that people say this stuff. It really does hurt me. Now, here's your boy Timothy. If you looked at this picture without knowing anything about the Met, what would you think is the theme of the party? That should answer any questions you guys may have about my feelings about it. Now, Naomi, this is a look that I literally have to sit down, research, and analyze because it's so intricate. And I know, and she did another collab of her two ethnic identities. I don't know much about either culture to that extent of like historically to really fully understand the look, but I see the effort and I see the beauty, and for that I give it a 10 out of 10. I really think it's a very underrated look. Her older sister helped design it. She said that they're really into fashion, and I really do feel like this is an underappreciated look. She really did look good, and even though I don't completely understand it, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I don't understand it. I understand the concept, and I feel like that's the point of the Met. The Met, other than just a fundraiser for the museum and a chance for rich famous people to get together and have a costume party, it really is a chance for designers to like showcase their art to the public, because how many people other than fashion goers really watch fashion shows? And fashion, yeah, trends, clothes to wear on your back, blah blah blah, but I see fashion as really a form of art, and the clothes and the makeup and the hair as a way to express oneself through that medium. So this was a perfect example of that, and yeah, 10 out of 10. Pete Davis, that's y'all boy. Y'all love him. Anyways, I actually would love this outfit on anyone but him. And Rose. Did no one know the theme? Did no one know the theme? I want to mention my girl Yara Shahid. I am so a million times sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but I'm pretty sure I pronounced it right, but I could be pronouncing it wrong. She was my favorite look at the Met. Her look was inspired by Josephine Baker. I literally made a whole TikTok video ranting about how beautiful I thought it was. Like, I am literally obsessed for like 24 hours after that Met Gala. I was obsessed with that look. It was my everything because I love Josephine. I saw the reference. The parallels. Anyways, my heart. Enough about that. My overall question when it comes to the fashion of the Met Gala 2021, it was, where's the Vegas? Where was the vintage Americana? Where was the Hollywood glamour? Because I wasn't seeing it there. Like, all you had to do was watch one movie. Like, you could have pulled so many outfits from, like, There's No Business Like Show Business. Y'all could have, there's so much inspiration out there. Like, I did not see one Mae West. I did not see none of that. Y'all really just disappointed. I didn't even see no Roaring 20s inspired nothing. I think Chloe, the sisters, Chloe, Halle, I didn't talk about their look, but Chloe's was the closest thing I ever saw to something like burlesque type of style. Also, I forgot the name of the other girl, the pearl fit. That was a beautiful look as well. That was also, she said it was burlesque inspired. I thought it was very pretty as well. But other than that, I didn't really see much of what it should have been giving for a theme that seems like something that could have been giving. But enough about the fashion, let's get into some more serious topics. So I wanted to skip over AOC's because I really wanted to sit down and have a conversation about this. AOC is a politician that we haven't seen arguably since like the Kennedys. A politician that like crosses over to celebrity status and is seen as glamorous. And because of that, she gets a lot of like celebrity treatment when it comes to like being able to show her makeup tutorial on Vogue, being invited to the Met Gala, all those things. And I feel like our society doesn't know how to react to politicians like that anymore. There seems to be a very big difference between a celebrity and a politician, and even then celebrities are expected to carry some type of political morals as well. AOC has already been criticized as being performative, and her gown saying tax the rich when it was probably designed by a designer who doesn't pay their taxes. I don't know, I'm not saying that these are facts, but I'm saying in theory, and dining with said rich can come off to people as very hypocritical and performative. And both sides said this. I saw conservative media and leftist creators both upset at her for the same reason. And that's really telling. How I feel is I feel like she was invited, She knew she was invited. She wanted to use this chance to make a political statement and not just go there and wine and dine. She wanted to make people uncomfortable. Going to an event where there are wealthy people and it's a very elitist event, and wearing a dress that says in big red letters, tax the rich, is going to make people uncomfortable. And I feel like it did, because even with the Vogue interview, the woman didn't know what to say. She's like, oh yeah, because what else is she gonna say? What else is she gonna say? Like, great message. Then corporate heads are gonna be mad at her, you know? I do feel like the dress did make some people feel uncomfortable, the rich uncomfortable, but also the rich sometimes don't realize they know they're rich, but they always feel like they're not the richest. The people who attend the Met Gala are not billionaires. The people who attend the Met Gala are millionaires. And if you don't know the difference between a million and a billion, please look up the difference between a million and a billion, because it's a huge difference. And millionaires may not see themselves as extremely wealthy as compared to a freaking billionaire. And so they may not even feel like that message is targeted towards them, even though many millionaires do not pay taxes. I don't know how effective her dress was to stir up actual conversation, to make actual change. But I do understand that she was invited, and that was probably the most appropriate way for her to handle the invite. That or just not go. That or be the one protesting outside with the Black Lives Matter people. But I'm not super angry at her, because I really frankly don't care as much. I don't think anything she could have done or said in that moment would have actually made a change. And that's the sad truth. If she was to not attend the Met, I doubt anyone would know or care unless she made noise about it on social media. And even then, people would take her post as performative. So I just feel like nothing was actually gonna be effective. So she did what she felt was most, best to do. We're the ones who's giving AOC a platform. We're the ones who's making her a celebrity. We're the ones doing that. So then why are we mad at her for embracing that status and using it as a way to connect with people? Y'all literally made her a TikTok trend. But let me move on. Now for the Black Lives Matter protest. The Black Lives Matter protest, I don't believe it had any relations to do with the Met Gala, but it's something that did happen while the Met Gala was taking place. And hearing so many celebrities during their interviews talk about diversity and inclusion and stuff like that, as Black people and people who are protesting for Black Lives Matter are being arrested in the streets, it's the most American thing about this whole event. That should really hit home. The people who should have the mic are not getting it, and we're giving celebrities the microphone to talk about politics. We don't have Martin Luther King's or Malcolm X's anymore. We don't have people who are designated whose whole purpose is just social work, social movements. We don't have leaders like that. And to put that on celebrities is, I think, foolish. I do believe celebrities should be held accountable for their actions, and I do believe, as people in our society who do have platforms and stuff, that they should use them wisely to make an effective change. But I don't believe that celebrities should be the voice of the people who are actually doing the work in the streets. You're talking about diversity and inclusion. You're talking about Black Lives Matter. Talk to the people who are out there protesting. I hate to go on a tangent, but there's nothing more American than that. You guys, it's like in the classism, the elitism, the difference between the rich and the poor. You could see it so clearly on that day. And it really just, I don't know why enough people talk about it. No one's really talking about it. I haven't seen any TikTok videos or anything like that. I saw one that's talking about, no one's talking about the Black Lives Matter things. I'm talking about it. I'm going to use my space on this little YouTube page to talk about it. And the little platforms I have, I'm going to address it. Because if we're going to put people like that on a pedestal to speak for us, if we're going to give those people platforms, they need to be willing to be down in the streets with us as well. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna cut it there. If we're gonna give them platforms, they need to be willing to be down there in the streets like us, because last time I checked, every single last leader of a movement was in the streets walking with those people. They were not sitting up in a pretty gown and talking about diversity and inclusion. They were doing the work. And I'm not saying you can't do both, because I'm a firm believer. I made a whole video about my favorite glamorous activists. Well, some of them. There's so many more glamorous activists. I believe in glamour. I love glamour. But not enough of y'all, I hate to say it, not enough of y'all are on FBI watch from our liking. Because last time I checked, Eartha Kitt, Josephine Baker, Dorothy Dandridge, all these glamorous women were on freaking FBI watch. Because they were making noise. They were celebrities. They were celebrities just like y'all. And they were making noise that the FBI was like, we gotta watch these women. I don't see enough of that from these celebrities. Y'all are too comfortable. Y'all are too comfortable. I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna say it. And with a small girl with a small platform, I'm gonna say it. And that's the truth. All right, cut it. And lastly, if you are not vaccinated, please get vaccinated. And if you don't feel comfortable getting vaccinated and you have concerns, try to limit public events, especially when masks are not required. That's for your safety. And I feel like we do not address that enough because, in my opinion, Nicki did the right thing sitting at home instead of protesting the Met Gala talking about I should be able to go without getting vaccinated. Because she could have done that. People do that all the time. But she didn't. So y'all may think that's really weird. But how do we stop ourselves from spreading COVID before the vaccine was around? It was by limiting social gatherings, social distancing, wearing a mask. So if you're not vaccinated, what should you do? Limit social gatherings, social distance, and wear a mask. Yeah, unpopular opinion. I don't want to talk about COVID too much because it surrounds our day-to-day basis, literally for over a year now. But I just wanted to address that. Y'all can love it, hate it. I know I'm gonna get probably a lot of heat. I always get heat when I talk, so I don't really care. But that's the truth. That's how I feel, and that's my opinion. In conclusion, we're at a point in our society when we begin to question systems like the Met Gala. We begin to question, is it right or even necessary to host these exclusive, glamorous events while there are Americans in the street who work even and are still homeless, can't afford to put a roof over their heads. And if they do have a roof over their heads, they're struggling to pay their bills, collecting thousands of dollars in debt. Is it really appropriate for us to sit here and have these events during a pandemic where we're seeing little infants get affected and die, while the rich can get vaccinated and chill and laugh and live in a bubble like none of that's happening? We begin to question these events like the Met Gala for good reasons. The theme being America, while outside there's immediate paradox of BLM protesters was louder than I can even explain. And throughout the event, celebrities of color took the time to talk about diversity. And y'all, I'm starting to hate that word so much because I don't care about how diverse we are. I care about how we are treated within that diversity. Those are the conversations we need to have. Not diversity and inclusion. Equity. Those are the things that are going to make change. And it's so ironic that the people that inspire American fashion, the workers that make minimum wage, who had no choice but to wear denim pants to work, the LGBTQ plus community, who inspired the whole disco scene and the ballroom culture that emerged during that time, and people of color who have been the backbone of the society for so long when it comes to heritage, culture, pop culture, fashion, music, art, literature, will never see the steps of the Met Gala. They're the ones outside protesting. Why aren't we joining them? I hate for events like this to be so politically charged because sometimes we like to view these events to escape those things in our society. But it's becoming very hard to ignore when people are hungry and people are dying. And so I hate to be the one to rant and get on my soapbox of morality and yell into a freaking phone, hoping that maybe 2-3 people on YouTube will care enough to view my video for longer than 3 minutes. But these are things we need to start thinking about when it comes to the Met. These are things I hope celebrities are thinking about when it comes to the Met. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to hear more of this, be sure to follow my TikTok, my Twitter, and my Instagram. I don't really talk about politics on my Instagram. I just be posting stuff. And I don't really tweet, but if you guys want me to tweet, I will tweet. If you guys want me to tweet, I will figure out how to use Twitter and tweet. And as for TikTok, I'm currently banned, so there's that. Be sure to subscribe to me anyways. guys. I hope that not all my videos in the future are this heavy, because geez, like, it is a lot to talk about this much stuff all the time. But I feel like this was an important conversation about the Met Gala that needs to be had, that no one was having. So I'll be the one to talk. All right, bye guys.